Welcome back to Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. My name's John Santucci. Call me Tooch. With me, here's Anthony from Pounded Sports VIP. Anthony, how's it going?
It's going great, man. Having a great Labor Day so far.
Happy Labor Day, everybody. We are going to be talking Ole Miss versus Louisville, tonight's Monday night game, Labor Day game, which is at a neutral site again. This is in Atlanta. Matchup of SEC team and ACC team, Louisville. Right, okay. Yep. So we have the numbers here we've seen some movement on this line. Opened at 10, Louisville plus 10, and now it's down to Louisville plus 8 as we speak. And over under at plus 75, big number. That's like 11 touchdowns. So, Anthony, tell us a little bit about the how you're feeling about those numbers.
Oh God, I'd rather have a 9.5 than in one way.
Could have had it at 10.
Yeah, it was at 10 last night. I looked at the book this morning, placed my wagers this morning, 9.5. I turned it on about a half hour ago, and it's 8, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Somebody's laying some big money on Louisville. That's where all the steam is, 1.5 in 4 or 5 hours. So a lot of money is going on Louisville, but what do they see? What do they know that we don't know? Cardinals were 4-7 last year. They were dreadful. They were a team that you wanted to go against and fade. You wanted to bet against this team. They had the 125th ranked offense out of what, 130, John? Is that right?
Right, and yeah, they run the ball more than they pass the ball. So, again, how are we getting to 75 points? I know a lot of people feel it's going to be a track meet and whatnot.
60% of the time they run the ball. 60%. They run a 2 tight end set. It's a run-first offense. Malik Cunningham, he's a beast, but he's losing 2 of his top receivers. Threw 20 touchdowns last year, 12 interceptions. Not the greatest numbers, but the guy's capable of scoring.
Right, and the threat to run as well. He's definitely explosive, and he can put points on the board. And on the other side of the ball, Matt Corral, also a good quarterback. He can also put some points up.
That's right. 29 touchdowns, 13 interceptions last year. He's been a stud.
Yeah, returned for his senior year. He's a quarterback that NFL teams will be eyeing for next year's draft. I wish I had gotten the number at plus 10 last night, But these teams are terrible, and like you said, we don't have anything to go on.
There's nothing to go on.
I laid off of this game. It was kind of a game I didn't want to play.
That's correct.
But tonight I kind of want to play it now. You see the steam coming in on Louisville. But 8, the number 8, how do we feel about the number 8?
It's not a sexy number, that's for sure. I'm more on the total than the – well, I placed my wager on plus 10. I did a teaser, but overall, I love the total. I think the total is just too high. Going into week 1, everybody thinks they know everything, but there's too much unknown to go on. Like a good example, Iowa State they won by 6 over Northern Iowa. I can bet a lot of money that nobody predicted that score or even that outcome.
Right. And that we said last, our last show, we said that we leaned towards the under in the first week of college football as the defenses had the advantage. Again, 11 touchdowns, man. That's 2 or 3 touchdowns a quarter.
My thing is Oklahoma and Tulane. Was it Tulane they played? Yeah, Tulane. Mm-hmm. They scored 75 points.
That was the only game all weekend, right?
Exactly. That was the highest scoring game that I could recall was that high. And 75. And Oklahoma is notorious for over and high scoring games. Ole Miss had their good share of unders last year.
And the Notre Dame Florida State was 79 points. Of course, 3 points in overtime, so 76 points regulation. But so 2 games only the whole weekend, over 75 points. Yeah.
Out of how many games, So
out of what, 50, 60 games.
Yeah. So, personally, I think the smart money is on the under, especially when you got a team that's a run-first team. they can drain the clock on 8 minutes on one drive if they really need to. 6 minutes a drive, boom. That's what we love to see if you're betting the under.
I think the sharps are on the under too. Is the line movement right? It's only gone down since it opened, right?
And I don't think Lane Kiffin's big, extraordinary offensive guru is going to make a big difference since they did very little recruiting in the offseason. You're basically seeing the same exact team in Ole Miss of 2020 into 2021. So do we really see these guys really changing that much? I don't. They lost Elijah Moore in the offseason, and I love the under. You agree?
I'm leaning under for sure. I think both these defenses, they're not good.
No.
So, but like you said, I think they're capable of at least getting a stop or two here.
Definitely.
And you get a couple 5, 6, 7 minute drives. There goes the over.
The only good players on each team are
the quarterbacks.
Outside of the quarterbacks are a bunch of nobodies. I hate to say it like that, but there's no one that's a standout that everybody's looking for. Everyone's looking at the quarterbacks because they're by far the big name out of the team.
All right, so let's give away our free play for this game.
Yeah, under.
That's wrong. We're missing our producer today, so it's me pushing buttons. But, free play is the under 75.
Yeah, that's our free play.
Right. Now we're going to give out a couple. We're going to give out a couple free plays for baseball too, as well, right? And Anthony, you have a free play for the baseball game today.
Yeah, my personal free play to everyone that I sent it to is the Mariners plus 1.5. Now it's the Mariners on the road versus Houston. Kikuchi, last start, 7 innings of work, 0 earned runs, dominated this Astros lineup. I don't see much of a difference. Astros are struggling right now. The Mariners are still hitting. They're just consistent, and they're doing just enough to win the games. Plus 1.5, you're getting at minus 120, I think it is, minus 130. That's a lot of value because they can still lose by 1 and still win.
I agree. It's a great play. And then I also have my free play today. My free play is the Dodgers minus 1.5 at St. Louis. The Dodgers got a lot to play for. Mad Max is on the mound.
Yeah.
Max is a guy I've been making money with this season, Anthony.
Dodgers haven't lost since he came to the Dodgers. He's been dominant.
Right.
And like I was telling you earlier, the Giants, they won the tiebreaker for the season versus the Dodgers last night. That was a huge game. Huge
game. Yep.
They got 6 earned runs versus Walker Buehler. Me and you were like, wow. Couldn't believe it.
Yep. Yeah, we were hoping for Buehler to shut down the Giants. It didn't happen. Pretty much his one bad outing this whole season.
That's that I could recall. I mean, by looking at his stats, I think it was 2 runs or less in his previous 10 starts.
Yep.
So he was due for a bad outing, but the Giants now, because they failed to win that game, they're down 2 games in the division now. Because if they tie in the regular season, Giants win the division.
Right. Now, the other side of that game, the Cardinals, not really a team that offensively scares anybody. They've got 2 or 3 good hitters with Arenado, Goldschmidt, and O'Neill, but a team that doesn't strike out a lot.
No.
The Cardinals don't strike out a lot.
Their bullpen is dreadful. Did you see how they had a walk-off grand slam to the Brewers the other day?
Right.
That's the Cardinals season in a nutshell.
And Cardinals usually a second half of the season team. You know, they usually come on strong second half, but I'm riding with Mad Max.
Yeah, you have to. Cardinals are the biggest disappointment of the season. Biggest disappointment team of the season, in my opinion. Too much talent to be in the position they're in. And
that's it. So let's review our free pick for the college football game tonight. Again, we're taking the under 75. And we're looking for a stop or two here on either side of the ball, and maybe a drive or two. Boy, I tell you, if it's 14-14 in the first quarter, we'll be regretting our free play. But let's review the free play from last week, though, too. We had Temple and Rutgers game. We had the over in the Temple-Rutgers game, which hit, and Temple plus the points, which missed. So, but nobody expected Rutgers to put up 61 points, right?
Oh.
But that's another game that hit 75, though.
There you go.
61-14. So, a bit more scoring from Temple that would have been, in the 80s.
I did not expect that. But that's a good example of the unknown going into week 1 of college football.
Yeah.
College football week 1 is the most unknown out of any sport.
Yep, week 1 college football, I defer to the home team and the under, when there's a question. Just the home team crowd. College sports, home field advantage, home court advantage. It's big. It should be the decision, the deciding factor that pushes you over the edge in your wager.
100%.
And this week we'll see how we do. Or I'm sorry, next week we'll see how we do. Home
Next
field
Saturday.
advantage. Right. There's some Friday games too as well. We'll be back probably talking some Friday games, and then of course Saturday morning. Every Saturday, catch us here, and that's it. Signing off. Thanks again, Anthony.
Sounds good. Have a good weekend, John.
All right, you too.
And I'm the team captain. He's the preview, and I'm the main attraction.
Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible. Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible.
Invincible hustle, mighty desire to conspire, to transpire, to